right. This is going to be the last gameplay clip of the game. The credits are going to be in the next clip. Anyway, we finally caught up to Golbez and the Old Man, and good God, the actual main villain of the game looks pretty bad. Seriously, I'm supposed to be menaced by an oversized purple clown? And apparently Golbez and the Old Man don't have to worry about having to wait for their turn. They're just wailing on this bastard without any risk of getting hit back. Am I supposed to feel some sense of hope when we see them beating on the bastard with so many different spells? Because I know Kain, Cecile, and Edge could have done more damage with their blades than Golbez is doing with his spells here. Hell, why did the game designers feel the need to nerf Golbez? It's not like we're controlling him, and excuse me for finding it utter bullshit that Golbez is pulling out Meteor now. Sure, it's two people spending MP to use it, but come on, that was Tella's dying spell. These two have not earned the right to use it. Is it just me, or did Zemus here have less health than some of the random encounters on the previous floor? And if anyone thinks this is the actual end of the main villain, then they don't know how these sorts of games go at all. Though I suppose it would be a nice change of pace for someone other than the player team to get the finishing blow in on the bad guy. It would certainly be an interesting surprise at any rate. Oh, bullshit. He's less powerful as a good guy, and it's easily confirmed even if we don't get to control him. It probably would have been better for all 7 of us to come in at once and maybe throw in some of the other playable characters that are still on the planet. Unfortunately, this game has some party limits. Ah, yes. Thank you, Zemus. Let's interrupt the poorly done family drama. I just seriously do not give a shit about the fact that Cecile, our protagonist for the entire game, is actually the biological brother of Golbez, the guy who served as our primary antagonist for the majority of the game. Ah, good. Can you kill off the Old Man, Edge, and Golbez then? Not that I really care about the other characters this far into this train wreck of a story. I just dislike those 3 more than the rest. Of course it has, because the player hasn't actually gone through a final boss battle yet. So, we're doing a dumb name change for the guy we didn't know was the primary villain before now. Have I mentioned I feel the story in this game really is not its strongest point? Am I supposed to feel intimidated that the ultra-special spell got absorbed by the furry beast that's supposed to be our final boss? None of our team even knows Meteor. And the fact that the Old Man decided to send a meteor down when the first one was incredibly ineffective just makes them both look like morons. If using the crystal was an option that's somehow more extreme than dropping meteors, why the hell did you wait this long to try it? Not that it worked either, but come on. Oh, so the bastard we're gonna have to fight knows Meteor as well. The game treated it as so special when Tella learned the spell, and then when he used it in a desperate, life-ending push against Golbez. But now we've got 3 magicians who know that special spell out of nowhere. Anyone else feel like that is just absolute garbage? Can you at least explain why you're angry, since you're trying to wipe out all of existence here? I swear, this story was trying to be something more interesting and complicated than the Final Fantasies that came before it. I feel like the series should have done something to make the absolute final opponent in the game feel like something other than a generic placeholder like the older games, though, because, very well, but I feel like the writers could have used more prayers here than the protagonist will. Again, I'm gonna play through Final Fantasy III at some point just to see if the more basic storytelling of that game somehow feels better to me than the questionably paced train wreck that is this game. As much as I respect that this game, in a historical sense, helped inspire quite a few game series after it, I just feel nothing for this world or the cast this far in. And that is quite the accomplishment, considering how things felt at the start of the game and how awesome it felt like things could be. I think I would have appreciated you guys doing something active like fighting, instead of just standing in a tower and praying for the protagonists to succeed. I'm pretty sure there are a good number of games over the years that have pulled something kind of similar to this method of powering up the heroes, though, so it's not in itself bad. Hell, in some ways the concept reminds me of the Spirit Bomb from Dragon Ball Z. There are ways to pull off this concept to make it feel epic, but I'm just not feeling it in this instance, and I feel like a bit of an ass for saying that. That would feel more meaningful if it felt like the enemy had earned us being knocked unconscious like that. We weren't even on the battlefield when that hairy bastard knocked us all down. By the way, how the hell are we getting power from the only dead man in the entire playable cast? I mean, sure, I appreciate the fact that the game hasn't completely forgotten about Tella when he's been dead for such a large chunk of the game, but still, he's being treated like all of the living characters who aren't going to be able to contribute to this fight. Okay, not even sure why I bothered trying to steal something from the guy with Edge there. I don't typically try to use that ability. It's usually pure offense or healing from me. Anyway, looks like this guy has yet another form. What the fuck? What kind of xenomorphic hellbeast is that guy supposed to be now? Not that I really have all that much of a problem with the overall design. It just feels like it came out of nowhere, especially considering his previous two forms. This hack shares no similarities with either of them. Anyway, hope nobody minds that I did another save state there. I didn't actually need it, but I didn't want to risk going through all that dialogue again if I managed to somehow get killed here. As a side note, anyone else find it funny that Rydia, using a whip, somehow does more damage than several of the elemental spells that Golbez and the old man used against this bastard? I mean, holy shit! This is really making Golbez and the old man look absolutely pathetic. Okay, so for being cheeky with Rydia, she gets knocked out in one hit. That's definitely a good sign that I should have grinded up more levels before getting in here. Son of a bitch! Our best healing spell, and it didn't replenish all the health that Cecile and Kain lost from that one shot. Another big bang! Good God, I didn't bother waking Rydia up. That would have just put her back down instantly, and now we're in very deep shit. Bloody hell, I can't think of what else we can really do with the tools we have available to us at the moment. Or why I didn't have Rydia just use a summon to do some major damage before she was taken out instead of just cheekily slapping him with a goddamn whip. That shaking is probably supposed to mean something, but I am literally throwing everything I've got at the bastard right now, and I can't tell what that shaking is for. He's just gonna keep on spamming that attack, isn't he? This really isn't a battle that involves a whole lot of strategy, it's just something you have to brute force your way through. Well, I suppose that's a spell other than just Big Bang, and it's a hell of a lot weaker. Definitely appreciate that. Is it just me, or does this guy not really have to give a damn about taking his turn? Joke's on you, I'm not using any status affecting spells. Final Fantasy very much beat that out of me. Well, everyone conscious has full health again. Now, can I manage to get Rydia back up before the end of this fight? Okay. Bad idea to even consider that when he can still spam that Big Bang attack. I swear, Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z didn't use Big Bang as much in that entire series as this guy is using for this single fight. Well, that attack stung, but it was just targeting one guy, so that's pretty manageable. But again, Big Bang is such a crappy move to have to deal with, especially since it feels like this guy breaks rules, not for the sake of actually being more difficult. There were more dangerous bosses before him, and hell, the random encounters were more dangerous than him. He breaks rules because he apparently needed a gimmick to make him more distinct from other bosses we've already fought. Yeah, really feels like we're gonna finish this fight without needing Rydia to participate much at all. And that feels especially ridiculous, since the opening of the game had the bad guys destroying Rydia's village to remove a potential threat. This monster that was manipulating events through Golbez decided to commit genocide on the summoners because he felt they were a threat. And Rydia turns out to be so painfully unimportant to the story when that village being destroyed was the most impactful moment of the opening? Oh dear. And oh dear, we are down to just Cecile and Rosa now. Definitely not good. Just how much more abuse can this guy take? How much more abuse can we take? That healing spell is not cheap, but we're getting ground down to the last few characters despite using the absolute best healing spell we've got. Keep on hitting the bastard, Cecile. I was wondering when the bastard would finally throw that one at us after showing it off against the old man and Golbez. By the way, anyone else notice that I don't respect this boss enough to use the name it's giving us for this phase of its fighting? Considering how oddly underwhelming the last Meteor was, I'm not too worried about this next one. Wow! Such an ultra special spell and the damn bastard is whiffing it! What an absolute waste of Meteor! How the hell does it have such little accuracy in this fight? It's like the game is trying hard to remove any and all mystique that the spell had in the middle of the game. Probably because the game designers know on some level that they managed to lose all gravitas in the storytelling around that point of the game. Okay, so we won and it somehow felt more abrupt than epic. Despite the fact that it felt like it took us far too long to actually get here. Yeah, you'll be back in the after years and all that, but the joke's on you. I chose not to bother with the after years. Your only other appearance is going to be in the 3D remake of this game. Does the shaking mean that the dungeon is collapsing or something? It's not like I'm clear where we even are right now. Yes, the power of dealing with the bonus dungeons and taking on pretty much every challenge until we got to the last few floors of this dungeon. I'm sure we were supposed to do more grinding and be even stronger for the final battle, but hey, we got it done. What more can you really ask for when the fighting is against an evil overlord that had painfully little build-up before his introduction? Make up your mind. Are you trying to be depressing or uplifting here? Edge, do us all a favor and take a permanent vow of silence. Rydia, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but considering you napped through the majority of that battle, I'm sorry to say you don't have the right to bitch about Edge's abilities or his attitude, really. I don't like the guy's personality, but he did do quite a lot of damage to the final boss, even if I didn't have the hilariously dangerous kitchen knife for him to throw. I'm not too sorry to say that the only time we're ever gonna meet again is gonna be the remake. Now, excuse me for not giving a damn that Golbez is not going to go back to the planet with everyone else. We have no reason to care about this man. Cecile has the flimsiest of reasons to care about this man. How the hell do you even prepare for a long, long sleep? I'll take your word for it. There's no voice acting in this game. Seriously, game, stop trying to make this seem emotional. The game lost any and all ability to be emotional after Tella died. Fucking hell, why is everybody demanding Cecile be sad about Golbez leaving? For God's sakes, they're only brothers by blood. They didn't even know they were related until the old man told them, and I'm pretty sure Rydia and Edge should have some pretty negative feelings for Golbez, along with Kane. Dear God, if I had learned I had another brother that I didn't know about, I'd just shrug and hope they had a good life with no feeling that I'd need to get attached to the random bastard at all. Seriously, how was any of that supposed to be touching? Just how? Yeah. There's the prophecy again. We fulfilled it, the world is saved, and the credits will start rolling soon. Which moon? This planet has two of them. The game certainly mentioned that a few times. Okay, so the planet is just gonna have one moon instead of two, apparently. I'm sure that's gonna screw with the tides and mess with some port towns, but I suppose that's not something we're supposed to think about. Just like we're not supposed to think about how remarkably unimportant Rydia ended up being for the game's plot. Really? We're just dropping it right back into the whirlpool?